That's it. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural program of our new corporate series, Startup Scene Entrepreneurs of Tomorrow. I'm Tom Byrne, President and CEO of the Korea Society. This series is designed to spotlight successful, innovative Korean American and Korean startup entrepreneurs who are making significant strides in the United States and South Korea. In addition to showcasing their achievements, we aim to offer valuable insights into the dynamic U.S. and Korean startup ecosystems while fostering networking opportunities for current and aspiring entrepreneurs. Startups are the lifeblood of economies. They play a pivotal role in shaping the economic landscape in America, which is globally recognized as the mecca of startups and venture capital, which funds startups. Silicon Valley is an historical, real-life El Dorado example of the significant contributions made by startups for wealth creation and for the general improvement and well-being in society. Meanwhile, South Korea is experiencing remarkable growth in the startup sector, with the number of new businesses doubling in the last 10 years, while tech-intensive companies almost quadrupled from 10,000 to 39,000 in the last 2 decades. Recognizing the significance of startup businesses in both countries, we believe it's crucial to initiate conversations among startup leaders, entrepreneurs, and experts in the private and public sectors in these 2 countries. And it is a privilege and pleasure to launch this new corporate series dedicated to the startup scene. I'd like to express our deep gratitude to Hanwha Life for their exclusive support of the series. Hanwha has recognized the importance of the partnership between startups and venture capital in its own accelerator program, Dream Plus. To mark the inception of the series, we have received congratulatory remarks from Hanwha. Here's Dr. Jin Mun Hong, Vice President of Hanwha Life.
Welcome. I'm delighted to meet you at the first session of the Startup Scene program. I'm Hwang Jin-woo, Senior Executive Vice President of Hanwha Life. Entrepreneurship often calls for courage, passion, an innovative spirit, and perseverance. Many of you here today have already embarked on that journey. It is an honor for us at Hanwha Life to be a small part of that journey, which may someday change the world. Even though the Startup Scene program is brand new, Hanwha is not new to the startup scene. We have been nurturing and collaborating with startups for a long time. Through participation in the Startup Scene program, I hope you can gain valuable knowledge and experience from successful fellow entrepreneurs. I also encourage you to engage in conversations with those sitting beside you today. You may gain new ideas and inspiration. In this rapidly changing era, we look to the youth who approach challenges with natural curiosity and a keen eye for novel solutions. We also understand that the journey is not easy. However, by sharing information and seeking wisdom together, I have no doubt that someday you will create significant value. I sincerely thank the Korea Society for providing us with this valuable opportunity. I wish each and every one of you a journey filled with fun, self-discovery, and success. Thank you.
Okay, and now I'd like to present our inaugural speaker, Mr. Saeju Jeong, the co-founder, former CEO, and now serving as Executive Chair of Noom.
Thank you very much.
Having led Noom for 17 years since its inception in 2007, Mr. Jeong's journey is a true testament to mission-driven entrepreneurship. Under his strategic vision, Noom has achieved remarkable growth. Through its behavior change weight loss program, Noom has helped millions of people around the world adopt healthier habits and a healthier mindset around food, thus improving their overall well-being. Saeju's entrepreneurship has been recognized with awards such as Entrepreneur of the Year from Ernst & Young and Entrepreneurial Company of the Year from the Harvard Business School Alumni Association of Northern California. Saeju also leads Noom's associate partnership with the World Economic Forum and is a regular attendee at its annual meeting in Davos. Guiding this conversation this evening is an old friend, Miss Gunyang Jennifer Moon. An award-winning TV journalist and former editor-in-chief at Arirang TV, Ms. Moon has a distinguished background with major international conferences such as the G20 Leadership Summit, the Nuclear Security Summit, and the 2 Inter-Korean Summits in 2017. Now as a freelance journalist and a public speaker, Ms. Moon regularly contributes to BBC and Deutsche Welle. Now it's my great pleasure to present you to Mr. Jeong and Ms. Moon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom, for the warm intro, and thank you, our intrepid audiences, for coming out here in person despite the lousy weather. Personally, I'm delighted to be back here at the Korea Society for the first time since taking the Kingu series back in 2015 to take part in this intriguing conversation. So big thank you to you and to the Korea Society, and of course to you, Saeju Jeong. I'm excited to hear all about the co-founding of Noom and the ups and downs of becoming a global leader in the digital healthcare market. Now, before we delve any further, why don't you give us a brief rundown or overview of Noom and its current business model? Of course, since having been co-founded back in 2008, Noom has really disrupted the $450 billion U.S. wellness market. It's resulted in over 50 million Noomers, the users of Noom. It's been reported at a $3.7 billion valuation. So give us a rundown.
Okay. Good to see everyone and welcome. I'm Saeju Jeong. So Noom is a service that we guide our users to build a healthy habit. Why healthy habit? Because we were thinking how we can deliver long-lasting, sustainable, healthy outcome. And it took many years to figure the current version of Noom. So Noom guide, build a healthy habit. And if we go one down more, that we help our users build how to manage the diet, nutrition, fitness activities, stress, anxiety management, and sleep. Very important. These 4 pillars are the main pillars that help you to have healthy lifestyle. We probably all know, but for some reason, not easy. We understand. We have a good empathy to our users. We use science and psychology to approach these matters nice and easy so we can help our users build a healthy habit. That's the way how it works. People may think Noom is about weight loss, and I think that is half right answer. We use the words when we promote our service as weight loss, because that's the way we can capture their eyes and we can get them to our program. But if you ever use our service Noom, from day one, we guide the weight loss. Weight loss is not the final the destination. Weight management is one of the good results if you have a healthy habit. So that's the way it works, and we are very pleased that we became the largest consumer-led digital health company in America now. More than half of America knows our brand, and we have the highest trust score, so I'm very thankful. We became also one of the biggest private tech company in Manhattan. And as a fellow Korean of you guys, that I'd love to share my, as she said, Jen, very well, that a lot of ups and downs of the startup, as it's the nature of the startup life. And hopefully the story can actually inspire and also share the knowledge. Thank you very much.
And we will do just that. We're going to go back to the early days. So it's 2008.
Yeah.
You and your friend, co-founder,
Artem, yes.
You call him your lifetime partner,
Correct.
Artem Pekatov,
Correct.
are launching Noom. Of course, it was called a different name back then.
Work Smart Labs Inc.
Right. Why did you decide to go down this bumpy, uncomfortable, arduous journey of starting a company? What was that aha moment to when you decided that it would be a digital healthcare that you would launch?
Good question, Jen. First of all, there's no such a thing of an aha moment that quickly in the beginning. But there is an aha moment afterwards. So I will explain what that means. But let me answer the first question that why did I found the company? The thing is, frankly speaking, it was so clear that I wanted to found the company. So I didn't even think about how hard it can be by the time. Does it make sense? So I found the company when I was 19, back then in Korea. So I was raised from South Korea, Yosu, beautiful fishery town in southern part of South Korea, kind of like Charleston in America, maybe. I didn't think about like other than just founding a company and become a founder entrepreneur since when I was very young. And you may ask why, and my answer is because I was inspired by the Hyundai Group, the founder Jeong 회장님, Jeong, and also Samsung, the other companies, which now they are the bedrock of South Korea's economy at this moment. So I was heavily inspired by them, and because I was raised in such a small town, that I felt like I got bored very quickly. I loved my town, still love, but I felt like, what's gonna happen if I come to Seoul, the capital of South Korea, much bigger than Yosu, and also when I had a class at the history class at school, I was curious about what about Europe and America, because Korea is kind of like completely, especially Yosu was kind of, you don't see any foreigners, you see only Korean there, right? So there's no diversity at all. So I was curious about what if I get out from my town, then what's gonna happen? So I was always curious. And second, again, the founder story of the entrepreneurs. And now they're leading the Korean economy, Hyundai and Samsung, LG. So I was inspired. So as soon as I became kind of adult, and 19 years old, I found the company. And then that gave me the taste of startup. By the time, to be honest, I didn't even knew the word startup. I actually did not know the word startup. These days, startup is kind of so common, so we can talk about startup all the time. But by the time, I don't know. We didn't say the startup was not the word that is ordinary. I found the company, and that gave me the light of like, oh, entrepreneurship. I loved it, but long story short, I felt like there's the limitation of growth in Korea because Korean market is small. We call it now TAM, right? Total access market is small. So I was looking for how I can do better, and also talent. The recruiting talent is limited in South Korea because I can only recruit the people who reside in South Korea. So I want to get like that led me to go to abroad. So that's how I came to the United States. And I have my father's story that my father was a big, was a great friend to me and also the teacher. Absolutely, I loved him. He was a great father. But I lost him early on, unfortunately, because of the health issues that he got. And then that was very difficult still today. And that helped me to think about what should I do once I experienced that he passed away. That good, clear reminder that we all die at some point. So that gave me the opportunity that, I should do something that I can completely dedicate it. And that led me to start a company in America. The people always ask, then why healthcare? Always people ask that questions. Because I realized starting a company with ideas, this is my humble opinion. I have seen so many times with myself that people start a company because they have a great idea. Often they face the failure very quickly because a great idea turns out it's not a good idea to commercialize the business. Then what will you do? So I didn't want to found a company based on the smart ideas. I want to found a company based on the mission that I care. Mission. Then what is mission? We use science and technology to help people's life. Period. How nice is that? You start from like I want to help my mom. I want to have a healthy lifestyle. I want you to be all healthy, by the way. You all. Don't you want, by the way? Jen and I actually discussed at the backstage. We are going to have a very interactive, fun session tonight. So I encourage you to say or comment so that way you can participate. I participate, you guys. Let's make a great session tonight. So
Absolutely.
you good? Are you guys good? It's okay? Yeah, start. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Let's formal. And then I got a permission from so that we can go crazy. Let's go crazy. Why not? Who cares?
I don't know if those were the exact words, but sure, yeah.
No, Hanoi is going to sponsor us anyway. Thank you, Hanoi. So let's go crazy. Let's go get to the point. So I don't want to act like I'm a saint, but I want to start from like a very simple, like the inches that how can you use the science and technology to get healthy? You know, healthy means like your mental health and your physical health, your relationship. And that led me to start the company Noom.
So, your story of getting to the U.S., of starting a company, is nothing of the ordinary. So I want to
Oh, yeah.
go back to that.
Please.
So you said you wanted to get out there to a bigger market. So you
Correct.
moved to Seoul
Correct.
and you went to college. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And then you initiated your first startup.
Yes.
Although you didn't use the word startup. What was that startup all about? And could you provide more details about how this venture unfolded?
Correct. I think now I can actually review what happened to me. That the current version of Noom is also a result of my unstoppable the vision and pursuit to the vision that I want to execute it. Right. It's a little weird to say this, but the Noom is the way I'm trying to like achieve what I care. I like it's kind of like I have a calling. What is a vision? People say like follow your vision. To my knowledge, my terminology is a vision is you close your eye and you can still see. You have a lot of ideas out of one simple vision. You can write down like 100 pages of the plan. That's a vision, right? If you fall in love with someone, like dating, you can speak about that person all day long. You can sing a song. You can do something crazy that you don't usually do. That's the love, right? Come on, are you not in love? Come on, guys. When you really figure the passion, then you know what you need to do because you are now led by a vision and you have an action ideas what you need to do. And I see myself, I was very lucky enough that I could figure what I care and what I can dedicate my life. And that's Noom's mission today. So back to you. I found company at age 19 because it's my character. I love business. I love business, and I'm very also like probably impatient in a good way that I want to get things done. I found a company that is e-commerce based, a heavy metal record label. I love heavy metal music, by the way. Rock, more than rock, heavy metal, like very intense music I love. Still today, I love heavy metal music. And I learned there are not that many good services in South Korea because it's such a like, niche market. So it was not well treated. So that's why I found the company out of like frustration. But as I mentioned, it was not driven by mission. It was driven by like, oh, there's opportunity. So I found the company. The company was doing well. But I faced the difficulties every night. Every night after work, the business was good. I made pretty good money. But every day, I was kind of like, where am I going out of this business? Making money, yeah, I can buy some stuff, materials, but does not give me a real joy, right? Having a nice dinner does not give me the full satisfaction other than just I feel full. Then why am I feeling like something is missing, empty, void at night? Because it's not mission-driven lifestyle. It's not because of purpose-driven decision. That helped me to think, oh, this should not be the way I should spend my opportunity. That's the moment my father passed away. And then again, he taught me he died early. I learned that I will die anyway, but I need to do something that I will not regret it. And that helped me to clear, like what's my, provide clarity of my priority of my life. And that helped me to think about the things that I should not should less care to truthfully live my life and rather prove who I am. And that led me to think a lot of matters like very bold. For instance, I dropped out of college. Very easy. It became very clear to me because I was okay student, but I did not enjoy it. Not because I didn't want to do homework, because I knew. So I studied electrical engineering at school. And most of my alumni go like Samsung Electronics or LG Electronics, which is a great school, the company, Ohana. But that was not the path I get excited at all. So I was curious, going, what should I do? So I got completely lost. My classmates were working so hard to get in those like in the career path. But for me, by the time, not at all. I have zero interest. Then I already made the money, which I was lucky from my business. But money does not give me the real joy. What's wrong with me? No, nothing is wrong. I just figure like I need to figure what is the priority of my life and what lead me to make the decision, and it became very clear. Purpose is the matter. And I'm very lucky enough I figured healthcare. That's how I came to United States, New York, and I found the company Noom. Thank you, Jen.
So you felt empty despite
Yes.
the wealth
Yes.
and everything else.
Yes.
And so you dropped out of college and moved to New York, somewhere you had never been before.
No, never.
It was a significant decision. You came here with an F1 visa.
Yes.
You didn't know a soul here.
No.
You weren't as fluent in the language as you are now.
Oh, thank you. Do you think my English is okay? Thank you. I got a lot of AI assistants, Thank you. English is hard, by the way. Thank you. Give me some credit. Yeah, it's hard. Korean is easy. Okay. Keep going.
You didn't have a place to live.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience.
Oh, it was wild, but it was fun. So I figured where I need to stay. So I got into America first through F1, and I found one sublet area in North Massapequa in Long Island. That was my shelter. I stayed there, and all day long I was kind of basically I was there, very lonely, quiet, learning English, trying to build a friendship here and there, a lot of hustling. Basically, I spent 2 years to learn America. 2 years, English, culture, and also try to build my own confidence. I can actually step up and speak to some people. It took 2 years, but eventually I got there. And the third year, once I landed in America, I was ready to debut the company. So I attended a lot of random events, such as tonight, like this event. I'm telling you, I attend a lot of random events. It's free and feed me. I attended to learn and also hustle, and hopefully I can meet someone can help me out. That's the way I actually found my co-founder too. Out of so many hustling, And I think the good part of New York City in America is there's a lot of great events. There is a great opportunity that the Korea Society is a good example. They are giving you the opportunity to meet me and Jen and the chair here, and also you guys, networking opportunity. I think it's fantastic. I actually do think it's fantastic. One of the reasons, actually, you may think, why am I doing this tonight? You may think. The reason is because that's the way I built my initial network when I was nothing, nobody. So I feel like I owe a lot. And this is a token thing that I can do, give it back to the community. Because there is an opportunity that people are seeking for, and I can share the experience. Hopefully they can inspire, and also hopefully they can also provide the key to unlock the challenge you may have. So that's what I did for the first 2 or 3 years.
I mean, that's amazing. So you came to New York City
Yes.
to build a startup.
Yes.
Lacking three very important components. So you didn't have money,
Yep.
you didn't have any network,
Yep.
and you lacked communication skills.
Correct. Yeah, but
And from that, you've built Noom now.
Correct.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
To those,
Where to start, right?
I
Give us
know.
a 10 hours.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Do you have any advice for Korean or any other immigrant entrepreneurs who encounter, a unique set of challenges here in the States or elsewhere, who can find a support system?
I have a lot of advice. The thing is, I remember when I was trying to build a relationship, because I was so completely nobody, right? Being ignored and no one is looking at me is kind of like very tough. It's very tough. And because I'm nobody and I don't even know what I want to do. I don't even know how I can start, right? I want to do something, but I don't know where to start. It's a very difficult emotional feeling, I remember. And I still have a clear memory. It was very difficult to insert myself into the community. Very difficult.
Get your foot in the door.
Very hard. As you may sense, I'm kind of like very extrovert personality. I'm like I like human. I like people. I can talk to any stranger on the street because that's my nature. That's the way I was born. But still, me, very hard. Almost the feeling of throwing up because I feel like I'm the complete loser. More than just nobody. When there's a networking opportunity happen, where can I insert myself to which group and act like everything is good and hey, how are you? It's hard. It's very hard. We'll see. I will see you guys after this session. How you guys do? But I'm joking. I'm not gonna judging you guys, but just hard. It's just hard. Very hard. I had a lot of dinner that I participated, signed up the event, show in Manhattan, took like 1 hour LIRR, get to Manhattan, attend the event with the hope that I can meet some the successful like an executive or founder, or interact, and probably the chance that I could actually have a conversation was less than 5% for many years. And like I pitched Noom ideas, the first business model, the ideas for 3 years. And I was able to raise zero capital for 3 years. And the humiliation, right? Once you present and you can see, you know it from the moment that you start, you know it from the eye contact, how the judge, the investors, the people, the crowd is looking at me. I already know this is going to be a shit show. No, for real. And I need to finish my 3 minutes, which take I feel like 30 minutes. And often I couldn't eat for like hours and hours because my stomach is already kind of like completely broke by the time. The feeling of like, I hate myself. Very tough. So now, my humble recommendation or advice to immigrant or who want to do a startup is like, try to manage your demon first in your head. That's what I learned. People don't judge than you think. They may judge, but not because they want to say like you suck. It's not like that. Just like because they want to learn about you. It's okay that you are being immature, as long as you can share your thought, your vision, then people start to pay attention to what you're saying. They give you a chance. Because that's what I experienced. I'm not talking about these days. Of course, these days when I say, people pay attention because they think I'm successful. But I learned that once I was able to manage my own demon in here, and I started to build my network at the random events, and I speak to people. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good, and I want to share my vision and story. And there are good, nice people out there, and that's how I slowly build my own confidence, and that helped me. And believe me, that's the way I convinced a lot of smart, good people as like a founder and founding members in the beginning. The perseverance and persistency and the mission and being genuine, all that like combined, it delivers some powerful energy for sure.
And it was at one of those events that you met your co-founder,
Correct.
Artem Pekatov.
Correct.
Tell me about that. You first met him at a dinner, I
Correct.
believe.
Yes.
And you and Artem started talking about your initiative, your mission, and you two clicked.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, fill us in.
So what happened was, again, I participated like Morgan Stanley, like Financial Nights, McKinsey, like and all the great brand name companies. And then I went, wow, can I participate? And I was there, and they're a good event by the time to promote their company, their initiatives, to recruit, right? And then I was there. I was trying to like interact with like the executive there, and also the fellow people who participate in the event. And I noticed people are trying to, often, to me, to my eyes, they're kind of like 20s, like in the similar age of mine, and they're trying hard to like impress each other. You know what I'm saying? Like at the networking event, they're trying to impress each other. I'm cool, and I'm cooler than you. Like everybody's playing that game. I'm freaking cool guy. Just like oh God, like because I can sense that the vulnerabilities of everyone at the room. Like, why we're not talking the reality, like the genuinely, like why can't you be just like a human and also like vulnerable? That was kind of question that I had. So I acted like more like I really paid attention to every single person when people speak about it, and I had not acting like I'm listening. I just okay, and then I had questions, and I keep going deeper and deeper because a lot of network events people talk very surface level. Do you know what I'm saying? And you know what? I kind of like something like a black comment to me, like, "Hey, nice to meet you." And what do you do? And I answer, and people like don't even pay attention. They just keep going, and I grab them. You want to learn what I'm doing, or you know what I'm saying? So kind of like it's kind of a lot of total shit show, often. So when I met Artem, I kind of like I was eye-to-eye conversation. I paid attention, and he was shocked that I really paid attention to his story. It came out like he said, and then I sent an email that night, and he goes, "Saeju, I never ever received this type of like email. It's genuinely putting the real effort." So that's the way I actually I was able to open up his heart and had a conversation, build a real relationship, and that's the way I did it for my founding members. And still today, I'm trying hard. I'd rather build like quality relationship than like I know so and so.
So you and Artem decided or agreed upon this idea
Yes.
of starting a business. And I understand that the very first model wasn't Noom.
Not at all.
It was a stationary bicycle.
Correct. So we were naive. We thought to get healthy, don't you think, a lot of people think they need to go to gym or exercise if they are seeking for how to get healthy, which is right. But as I mentioned in the beginning, 4 pillars, right? Diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, all important. You know why? Because we are human. Okay? But we thought fitness is a path. So we built the product. It looked like Peloton these days. So that was our first product that we made. An interactive stationary bike, comes with the touch screen, and we guide our users to do a cycling. Again, little like a Peloton bike that was our first product in 2008, and that made our company 8 and 9, and we failed to raise any dollar. We couldn't raise the capital, but that was our first product. We still have that the relic in our office now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the first.
But obviously, you pivoted and you evolved,
Many times.
and you moved on to different
Yep.
models and different
Correct.
business models.
Correct. So this is an interesting story. So we developed the hardware device as startup, which was a wrong start because it's very capital heavy business, and also we couldn't raise any capital. Remember? So we became very poor, and we realized we will not be able to raise capital, but we can. Then how can we prove that we are good to investors? And that led us to develop the application. And then God helped us that Apple and Google launched the App Store. So we are the first maker of the app generation. So we launched the application. We got rid of the hardware business because it's so expensive to manage it. We launched the application which we can boast about our software developing ability of our team members. And we launched a service, and we became the most downloaded the fitness health service because we were number 6 registered application out of the entire app by the time. So we were that early. We were number 6, not in the health category, but out of entire health, the application category, we were number 6.
Wow.
I know. So we launched, and then we worked really hard. Like we updated almost every day the application to make sure we deliver good outcome. And that's the way we receive attention. Millions of users. We had, I think, 5 million users within 6 months, which was an outstanding number. And that brought a real attention from Google, Verizon, Motorola. By the time Motorola was big, sorry Motorola, they are gone now. And that's how it works. Because of that, we got to be careful, Noom, right now. I always worry about our company. Anyway, let's go back that time, and then we brought good investors, like Client Perkins, made investment to our company, and we became a real company by then, because they knew that we are a good developer, and we received first round of first seed investment from Client Perkins from Silicon Valley. We utilized the capital to build a service. Fast forward, and you may ask, Jen, then what happened to Noom today versus by the time? We developed the tools, how to log exercise, how to log diet, but we learned this tool will not deliver our promise, which is our company mission. The tool will give you can count your calories, you can register your exercise, but it will not deliver healthy outcomes somehow. Why? Because it is not holistic approach. What is holistic approach? We need to understand where you are today. We need to understand where you need to build a healthy habit. And then we realize we need to really build like a suite of services, 4 pillars: diet, exercise, stress management, sleep, and using psychology to make it easy to adopt. And that's the current version of Noom. 2014 we launched, and then since 2016 we've been really growing fast because it was a good product market fit.
Mm-hmm. So obviously throughout the entire process, you've been making strategic pivots.
Yes.
And that seems to me like key to success,
Absolutely.
adapting and pivoting. And you've successfully reached the product market fit.
Thank you.
Would you share with us and discuss the leadership sources or guiding principles that played a crucial role in helping you persevere and effectively lead through these the challenging times?
True. What's interesting about pivoting time that people think that we were so I or management team was so thoughtful or genius so we could pivot. The truth is we didn't have a chance. Does it make sense? Remember that we had a Peloton-like bike, And we had to pivot from hardware business to application business because we became so poor. We couldn't afford the money for hardware business. That's why we pivot from hardware to the application business. I don't want to beautify my story. I want to tell you those challenge give you a chance to become creative. So that's the irony. When companies are well funded and are comfortable, probably if we were comfortable with the funding, if we had a business that we can actually okay to operate our hardware business, we might not pivot, or we might take more years to figure that is not the path we should develop the service. Does it make sense? We had a real challenge. We were facing bankruptcy several times. Our company literally faced the bankruptcy several times. At the board meeting, even the board member raised the voice very hard, like we should have filed the bankruptcy twice. So there's a lot of like the ups and downs, and when the downtime arrive, it's hard. But often it provides us the opportunity. We can be very creative to figure this like the problem because of lack of resources. And also like clearly that's a statement of our service not being loved. So we need to change. Mm-hmm. And that's the moment we pivot. So again, I don't want to make a glorious story of how we miraculously pivot, but we had to do that. And then we over pattern recognition over several years, we became mature. So now we know, the organization must be flexible. We need to always understand that our current version of the product market fit value might not be the one that we can continue to sustain the business. That's why I worry about our business all the time. I became paranoid about it, which helped our business too. And the last comment about your question, what kind of leadership do we need to overcome those difficult times is perseverance. Matter of fact, that when I raised capital from the client, the Sequoia Capital, which is extremely well known, the world best. I think they are world best venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, Sequoia Capital. They put the money in Noom 2019. And they're like a super strong venture capitalist, right? Sequoia Capital is kind of the A+ grade. 27% of all the public company to receive their money. They are like mogul of the capital. So we got the money from them, and when we the final presentation, usually the partner presentation they call, and I got a call. They said, Saeju, do not present your we call IR, investor relation. Don't present your investment deck. What do you mean? We are curious your story, the perseverance, because it's insane. By the time it was already kind of more than 12 years of the company. So they were curious why we did not give up. So they paid attention to our story and they made investment. The perseverance comes from where? It came from, I already mentioned, mission, purpose-driven lifestyle. I really meant that. Mission is very powerful. If you really be truthfully, you are honest to yourself, that you want to use your time and opportunity to pursue that what you really care and you want to dedicate your life, then other matters became tolerable. And if you start from the leader, then you create a very strong comrade like spirit. People follow because it's very strong. If the leader speak from the heart and really say it, that the company mission is aligned with what we believe, then difficult time is tolerable. That's what we manage. That's the way we manage, and I still apply that same.
So basically, don't give a pitch. We just want to find out what it is that prevented you from giving up.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So all in all, from all these investors, you raised $650 million, is it?
No, $699 million.
$699 million, yep. Yes. What makes a great founder fundraiser?
This is quite odd to me, to be honest. People think I'm very good at raising capital. Do you think I'm good at raising capital?
I would think so.
Okay. But I never enjoyed raising capital.
Mm.
I had to raise capital. I had to raise capital to sponsor R&D. It's just raising capital is not fun. But I had to raise the capital. I always tell our company that raising capital is not about the celebration. We just increase the credit card line of credit. Investors are looking for return on investment. It's their business. So they believe in our future and they give us some dollars and we are going to return the money with the high multiples. And we can do that. I think we did it. We did it successfully. But it's a part of the work, raising capital. I became, I think, pretty good at that because, again, it's a storytelling. And what story do you have? And what is the strategy? And we became better as we made a lot of errors, but we learned from errors. I didn't say it's fail. There's a lot of errors, and then that give us become a better and then interpret that. I have seen a lot of founders actually face difficult time, or they say they name it a state as a failure. We fail with this product. No, it's opportunity you learn, and that you shall leverage that. So the investor can appreciate that you make less errors going forward. That's what I did. It's a storytelling, raising capital. But I also want to highlight, not because of 2021, since 2021, the tech venture capital market has changed, but have to find a good balance. So now Noom is, we are one of the largest consumer-led healthcare company. We have a very strong revenue, very nakunud. I'm very proud of that. At the same time, we are also profitable. Mm-hmm. So we generate pretty strong cash. It's very important to have a good balance. Growth, EBITDA, and the cash balance. Why is that? Otherwise, we have to continuously asking for money. Then the company become very weak. So I have to find a good balance as company grow. So that's where we are. And we are trying to build the reliable growth, durable growth. That way we can continue to invest into our own R&D.
If there is one most memorable pitch that you remember on a personal level.
Oh yeah, I do have it. I have many, by the way, and thank you for a good question. We faced a bankruptcy. The board voted that either file a bankruptcy, that way they can collect the IP and sell the IP, then they can actually at least recoup the money, the principal. Because, you know why? Because in order to file the bankruptcy, you need the money. Does it make sense? So we had a little money left. So the board of directors, investors were discussing, should we use these dollars in our the bank to file a bankruptcy? And I'm a freaking founder and CEO. And I was like, wow, that can happen. And now I can speak that it's nothing wrong about that approach, but it really hurt me. It hurt me so badly. So I went out to raise capital. So I told them, give me a month. I will raise the capital if you don't want to rescue our company. I will raise the capital to rescue the company. And I raised capital. And the long story short, I raised capital from a lot of my puzzle network, friends, and the family. We got a call. Probably spam, right? And then I went to Japan. And I pitched to one of the largest health insurance company, CEO. Mm-hmm. Out of total hustling, I met him, I pitched to him, and I shared why we are in this situation. I could read from his eye, Saeju, what a random person is, pitching to me in Japan. The New York City-based company came to Japan, Tokyo, to raise capital. You know what that means? we failed to raise capital from United States. So he knew. I can see from his eye. He gave me the space. He gave me a chance. I was very honest to him. What we promised 2 years ago and where we are today. And what lessons we learned. And why we need the money. And why this time it's going to be different. I pitched hard. The CEO paid attention. And there's the Goldman Sachs, the investment banker and consultant people sitting next him and literally giving him like the advice that this company is like a bad, do not make an investment. He was a complete asshole, by the way. It was so bad. So bad. Out of his, by the way, Goldman Sachs is a great company. I actually do work with them. It's a good company. I think he's a bad guy. Because he's in a position, he's rich. He's hired by a CEO to give out advice. He's smart. He reviewed the company like us, like a very poor and desperate company all the time. So the way he treated me was kind of like cockroach. Like, why, sir, why are you wasting your time, sir? Why are you wasting your time? This man is complete failure and asking for money. Couldn't raise capital. Came to Tokyo to raise capital. So it was not easy, but I was able to actually communicate and speak again back to him. Our mission, what lesson we learned, and why this is different, and with the data. And he made and at the end of the conversation, he said, stop, we make investment. And that saved our company. God helped us, and we grew really well since then. We utilized the money like in the gold, and we grew very well since then, and we were able to return the money.
Amazing.
Within 16 months.
Wow,
We returned the money
amazing.
with multiples.
You spoke from the heart.
Heart, desperate, but I was desperate, but I did not compromise my dignity at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because I'm representing my company and our team, and we are working hard. We were working hard, and we were working hard with the hope that we can secure any dollars. In my heart, I repeat to myself, all I need is one investor. Does it make sense to you guys? All I need is one investor, not 10, not 20. I don't even need 10 investors, right? I need one investor who can truly understand what I'm doing. And then I think we were lucky. We secured the one, and we used that dollar very carefully. And our company, that money, not only rescued the company, but we became like the current company, because we grew from there like 10x. Grew very fast since then. And you know what happened? The guy who gave him advice that way was fired.
Good for you.
The fired not because we returned the money, because his attitude. So he was fired within 2 weeks. Because he is the right man. He's so. You shouldn't treat people that way.
Mm-hmm.
So he was fired. So you can see how wise this CEO was. And he has seen the opportunity, how, like Noom, the disruptive technology can change the way the market is working. So, scary story. Why scary? If I could not get that money, Noom, as we discussed with the board, by the time we filed the bankruptcy, and they sold our IP and we dismantled. I have many stories like that, by the way. That's why when people come to me and say, I want to become like you, Saeju, I want to be a CEO and build a startup, all that, and I say, that's good. And what leads you to do that? What's your mission? And believe me, a lot of people can't actually answer that well. They think mission is kind of like, I need to do that as part of like my business presentation. Do you see what I'm saying? truthfully. I can sense that because entire my life I'm a founder, entrepreneur. So I can just literally smell. I ask her, I'm not giving you a hard time, just give me the story. What's your freaking story that you need to start the company? And what mission do you have? And often people fail. You know why? Because they are so like excited about the ideas they want to build. And what are you building? For? Can answer. Does it make sense? Do you know? Because we are developer, we know, I will tell you. Making something, building something is fun and easy, by the way. Do you know? Okay, let's talk about the cooking. You learn from recipe or by watching internet, there's a recipe how to make a kimchi jjigae, whatever food, right? It seems easy, actually quite easy to actually cook. To make it edible, easy. Make it nice, a little harder. Make a fine dining experience, it's hard. Software, very similar. Making some software, make it usable like the product is easy actually. It's actually fun. A lot of developers and also early stage the inexperienced founders make that mistake because they get confused. You know why? Because they want to be in an action. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why there's a lot, even like small business, small retail business. There are so many small retail business start with a hope and fail. Why? Because they were busy and they get confused. Being busy does not mean you are doing a good job. Being urgent does not mean it's a high priority. Do you understand?
Mm.
Do you know good companies, developing companies like Google, they actually encourage the developer to not code, to not engage the code until we figure what we are going to build for what. You know how hard it is? It's very hard. Basically, like for dancers, don't dance. Let's figure what type of the musical or the show we'll create. Then, oh, come on, man, just shut your mouth. I'm gonna dance. No. What are we going to build? Very hard. Very hard. That's why I encourage you to think about the mission. And I have seen again and again and again from like a first-time entrepreneurs or startup guy who want to become like rich, successful, powerful, whatever. It doesn't come that way. Because I guarantee, if you start a company, you will face the challenge that you can't possibly even imagine. I guarantee. It's very difficult. A lot of challenges that you didn't even think about it. Because you open up the box, the Pandora. The only way you can actually stick with like you can tolerate those challenges, you need to stick with the company mission. Then you become like invincible. I know it sounds cheesy and also very generic, but it's the truth. Think about the like love. Think about if you're a parent. I have boys. I have 2 boys. I will die for them. Why? Because I love them. Period. There's no. That's good enough reason, right? The love the same. Well said, sir. I like that. The business should be like that way too. Then investors, they understand. Investors often want to see how you react of the press tests. And acting like a founder CEO, I know everything, is not a good attitude. Because how could you possibly know everything? So they often ask, like, why are you doing this? What brought you to commit your time and effort to develop this service? What's your story? Very important. So that's part of the story that I want to share. The fundraising is, I had to, but it was not easy. And there are a lot of like moments that it's hard to describe. It was very hard, humiliating and embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Of course. Scary. Of course. I have like cash in the bank. I can only give like 3 weeks left. Scary.
So it seems to me that entrepreneurship is very purpose-driven, mission-driven.
Yes.
And it's beyond following the money, if you will. It's beyond
money follows.
That.
once you achieve success, money follows. If you have a good product, then money follows.
So it's just it's above and beyond following the money.
Last year, I met Elon Musk in March, and asked a question: how to build a business? Very generic question, and he goes. So we had like 60 CEOs, all super successful CEOs, like unicorn, like $1 billion companies. And then one guy asked a question to Elon Musk. They said, like, we figure the product market fit, it's good. How can you build next business? How can you build next product? And he was kind of like thinking hard. And he goes like, you know what? It's very hard to build a usable product. And everyone understood and nodded head. It's very hard to build a usable product. But once you figure usable product, then everything follows. Money, of course, power, fame, you name it. Focus matters. Use your resources. For our case, we are consumer-led healthcare, so we care about our patients and users. That's the way we do. And we believe that's the way we can disrupt and play different in healthcare. Because a lot of healthcare, the service is optimized for sick care management. We believe in preventative approach. So why preventative approach? Because you don't want to get sick. You have a chance to not get sick. And we are trying to provide a service. Noom service being loved by millions and millions of users. And they became a very aggregated, like a strong voice. And it became a powerful, like the megaphone. And now we are working with a lot of payer and pharma company because we became like that. I gave a torch to all the users and became like powerful. Basically, my users are promoting our service to healthcare. And I appreciate that.
So, as the co-founder and CEO for the last 16 years, you've been a very customer and consumer oriented.
Yes.
But you've recently transitioned
Sure.
from a CEO role to an executive chair.
Correct.
It's very noteworthy. Could you shed light on the factors that influenced your decision to do so? I mean, how has your role evolved or changed? And I mean, what new goals do you have, or do
It was
you
very
envision?
hard. It was very hard. I'm not gonna lie. It took 2 years to make the decision. I hired like 4 different therapists and 2 CEO coach to review this opportunity. It started end of COVID-19. I felt like what I experienced of the Noom we call hypergrowth. Okay, I had 200 employees before COVID-19, and after COVID-19, I had 2,500 employees full time. I hired a full-time member, at least 4 to 15 people every day over 2 years. And our revenue also grew like quite hard. Like we made a lot of money, so I feel very grateful about it. But I knew this hypergrowth will, as I mentioned, the current strategy, how can you build a durable growth company? I love that word, durable growth company. We need to have a durable growth company. It's different play, different operation. And I grinded myself completely. I worked like really hard when the company was in hypergrowth mode. And as I preach our service Noom, how can you create a healthy outcome by having a sustainable way to build a healthy habit, so it can the healthy outcome can last. So I felt like I'm not following our advice, what we are giving a lecture to our users. My lifestyle was completely occupied by work, and I wanted to bring a better CEO. That way we can continue to grow. And this is the way I gave a speech to my team when I made a decision. It took 2 years. I told my team, hey guys, I'm going to find a CEO. The reason is, up to now, we were lucky, and also we work hard, but we were lucky. And now we became nationwide winner of the, let's say, soccer game. So we are invited to FIFA World Cup, which we are going to compete with every single national best the soccer team. And that chance will not come that often. So I'm gonna bring a person who has done a good job as a coach, who comes to the experience. Why? That way we can avoid a mistake. Because I experienced by the time it was year 16 of my CEO term, and I learned a lot by making mistake, and I was very proud of that, because I was kind of fearless leader that it's okay to make a mistake, we'll learn out of it, but we became big, and we got a lot we can lose. Does it make sense? When we started, we were nobody, and we were a small company, so it's really okay to make a mistake, but we became a really big company. We are actually according to Fortune, we are the largest private tech company in Manhattan today. We are the largest. So we got a lot. And more than half of America knows our Noom brand. So we got a lot. So that's why I hired the CEO, invite a new CEO, the better CEO. That's a full story. And now this is my I hired him 6 months ago. My new job is I'm managing a company to build the strategy and the vision and M&A, equity management, and how we can build a company to the next level. And I do enjoy it. I feel very thankful. It's a new time.
So you put a lot of time into thinking.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Strategy, thinking about culture, strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And now our revenue is strong, but imagine we are working so hard to keep this revenue, and now the expectation we need to double it is the next challenge. We call that in the startup world 0 to 1. Have you heard about that expression? We are now we beyond the 1, and we are being the 1 to 10, and these are the 10 to 100, right? It's different play. So we need to engage differently. So it's a new challenge which I like, and I'm very thankful.
Well, I'm excited for the next chapter. Now, at this time, I'd like to turn it over to the floor to you guys for questions. So if you have any questions, I'm going to first take it from our audience here, and also take questions from our virtual audience. We did get lots of questions from our virtual audience as well. But first, from our in-person audience. So
Thanks for listening, by the way, everyone. It's not easy to listen that long. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
So my question, and I think it's a bit of a confusing question, kind of.
It's all right.
When we speak about entrepreneurship, we mainly speak about earning a profit, right?
Yes.
But sometimes, what about your passion or that mission or vision that you have in life?
Yes.
When you want to serve a purpose, what if that purpose means that there is no profit involved? What if you want to open something to help people in a country that aren't able to pay for the services to get the help that they need? How does that factor in?
I might not be the best person to answer, but I do know there's a path of the people. There's also passionate people who want to sponsor of your passion, because they are under the circumstance they cannot fully utilize their day-to-day the time to work on the passion that you have, the mission that you want to deliver. So they are sponsored for sure. And I think that's often nonprofit organization, or you raise capital for. There's a lot of purpose-driven capital, venture capitalists, and they actually seek for those people like you, and they sponsor because they need a warrior. They need the leader who can jump into the problem and make the community and society better. So yeah, thank you.
You told that you drop out from the college in the small city.
Yeah.
And probably the reason was that there were not so many bright professors in this college. And you're still a young person. Do you consider continue your education? There are a lot of MBA and a lot of nice places where you can find good advisors, good teachers, and good inspiration people. And second question, what does it mean noom? Noom.
I get your second question, but can you clarify your first question one more time, sir, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so you're a young person. Are you considered to...
I'm young, what?
You're a young person.
Young
Are you
person. Oh, thank
considered
you.
to continue your education in some respectful place?
So I'm a young. Did you catch the question?
So I think what he means is you're still young. Do you have any plans on or thoughts in continuing your education in a respectable institution?
Me?
Yeah. Do you want to go to, because you're a college dropout, do you want to continue education?
Wow.
Is that a wow question?
No, it's a good question. I actually haven't thought about this, sir. But that's not the plan. But does not mean I don't like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. Yeah.
I just tell you, like at the last day of the Soviet Union, it was very famous phrase that the happiness is not in the money, but in the quantity. So
True. I do learn a lot by meeting people like tonight. And that's why I participate also conferences. And I actively invest my time to networking and meet people. And that's my school to me. I spend a lot of my time in meeting people who are not in healthcare or even startup. Because I often receive a great inspiration, also the ideas. I interact with like the founders of the restaurant, an artist, teacher, financial, like the professionals, like because I get an idea from them. Matter of fact, my hobby is actually read a lot of like Inc. magazines, the small business owner story. They give me a lot of inspiration. Matter of fact, I also listen to a lot of like the founder story, like How I Built This by Guy Raz. It's a pretty good podcast program. I listen to those like the startup stories to get inspiration.
Right. Learning, I suppose we can learn things anywhere. Learning is not restricted to school.
I agree that. Yeah.
And I think his second question was, what is Noom? Where does it
It's a
come
moon
from?
backwards, sir. It's a moon backward. I couldn't trademark moon. Then you may ask, why moon? Why moon? Because I thought changing lifestyle is a lonely journey because it's your life, it's your body, it's your soul. And it's not easy and it's lonely. When it's alone, but we are companion. We are good companion to support our users can build a healthy habit. So I thought at night, you get lost, you look up to the moon, shine on you, and guide you, and you look down. The moon reflects from the river and water. It's noon.
you did not look at sun.
Because during this daytime, I think I'm less lonely. At night, you get lost. But there's a companion. The moon is watching over you. That's why noon. Mm-hmm.
Hi, thank you for the thoughtful discussion. I want to ask you about sort of the state of the startup industry currently. You know, obviously, the era of cheap money is gone.
Yes.
As you mentioned, like the Sequoias of the world are not opening up their wallets as they used to. Last year was a terrible year for the industry. Do you still? I mean, is there a good time for people to build stuff and build their startups? And if there is now not a good time? And also, you seem like a serial entrepreneur, so I want to ask you, what next for you? Or is there any project or anything that excites you that you want to build?
Thank you. Great question. And I will tell you exactly how I think, not a politically correct answer. I think it's a good time to start a company right now. Yeah. And people may think, oh, Saeju, because you are on stage, you are giving like a nice talk. No. The reason is this usually take like 5 to 7 years to have like validation of your company's success. So think about the cycle. Unless we face a real like total like failure of this humanity, the economy will recover for sure. So invest now. And a lot of early stage investors are looking for startups now that they're bold enough that wanting to start a company now under this bad economy. It's a good validation of the good founder. And investors know because they can bear with at least 5 to 7 years. So we believe there will be like the macroeconomy will recover within 5 years. So it's a great time. Second, a lot of venture capitalists, they raise capital during the, we call cheap money. Yes, there's a lot of money deployed in 2020 to 21, and they have not deployed the money yet. So the money is there. So that's good. Third, and like Noom or the other big company receive a real challenge because we need to deliver highly expected like the valuation and also the next. And I say this from my bottom of heart and told my team and my employee, this challenge is actually quite good challenge. Why is that? During this the challenging macroeconomy, the real company health will be validated, including Noom and others. What does it mean? Because we have I believe Noom has a very strong business. So we'll receive even more premium. Because investors will look for which company has a real business, which is durable business. So they will give more credit. And also, this will like a clear reset the startup scene. So there are a lot of weak companies. They will receive a challenge, and they should be. So this is a good, actually, like when the hurricane or typhoon passed, the ocean received a lot of like healthy recovery. You know that, right? It actually the Mother Nature gave a typhoon, and they give a good like opportunity. The ocean get clear, better. So I think that's the stage. And my personal comment, I've been observing the market very carefully because that's my job. I think the economy will recover, and there's a lot of sign. I think there will be more public company listed this year in tech field, and I think they will give a warming up of the investors. Like the Silicon Valley people will jump in, also invest, deploy money, and I think also election year is very interesting. So I think there's a good positive side of like the growth recovery year. And as we know, like U.S. economy very strong. There's a lot of job, and the consumers are still spending dollars. U.S. economy is very strong, so I think that also that will help recover the investment market.
Well, that's good to hear. I think the last part of her question was, do you have any plans to start another company? I beg to differ. I don't view you as a serial entrepreneur. You've stuck to one for the last 16 years. So
You're right. So I don't think I will start a new company because I still have a lot to do at Noom. And my transition is actually giving me a chance I can actually do that. So I want to do it well. But I have an idea is how I can utilize my experience and also like the resources to share and help. So I've been investing to companies, and I'm creating new, like we created a non-profit organization. It's called United Korean Founders because we want to sponsor and support the Korean founders or talents, investors. So that's the way I can actually share my knowledge and experience to support the fellow founders and entrepreneurs.
to give back. So these are some of the questions that we've selected from the many that we got from our virtual audience. And this comes from Ivan Cho from Rice University. In the U.S. marketplace, what important factors should healthcare startups consider compared to Korea?
Repeat one more time for my.
So in the U.S. marketplace, what are some of the important factors should healthcare startups consider compared to the Korean market?
In healthcare
Yeah.
startup, U.S. healthcare startup,
Yeah.
I think I think a U.S. healthcare market for startup is far richer than a Korean market, unfortunately. The reason is not only TAM, because U.S. is actually quite advanced in terms of adopting the digital healthcare, the Medicare, Medicaid are supporting the virtual services to promote the preventative approach for care management for chronic care. So that is a great opportunity for startups to can enter in. Is a big market, and as you do know, 24 or 25% of GDP in America is healthcare. It's the biggest industry is healthcare. So there is a great opportunity that for startup. And lastly, if you're Korean, you may actually can compare the service quality between Korean, the public healthcare and the United States, and also like clinical services. What that means, the US needs to catch up. That's all opportunity for founders and entrepreneurs. I think we can do better, and we will. US has a lot of money. It's a very rich country and also a highly educated country. And Americans actually adopt technology quite fast compared to the other countries. So I see that as an opportunity.
And this one from Julianne Kim. Has your heritage or how you grew up as an Asian American, Korean American influenced the way you lead?
Repeat one more time. Yeah.
So your heritage or you growing up as a Korean,
Yes.
has that influenced the way you lead your company?
Absolutely. I give a lot of soulmate. For real. Every year at the party, at the Christmas event, I was known at K-Town that I ran the Korean barbecue restaurant, and my record was 300 glasses. Up to like when now I can't do it. I have 1,000 employee, but I made 300 glasses soulmate.
Good for you.
For real, but for real, that's all seriousness that I do think there's a lot of merit. I did not dilute our Korean culture. I actually use the great part of the Korean culture, the respect, politeness, has been very well much welcomed by American employee, my people. It became my identity, and I love it. I'm very proud of it. We, in our company culture, there's a lot of Korean culture. You can see, for instance, I noticed in America, New York, especially New York, they just talk, right? They just talk. They cut and talk, right? No, we try to raise hands. We wait until a person finished the words, and we try to give. May I? We do that.
Oh wow!
I
Very
introduce.
polite.
Yeah.
I don't think they do it even in Korea. So
there's a lot of good things, and also my respect to American culture. I think that really benefited.
From Damien Park, what were your 3 greatest threats in business?
3 what?
Greatest threats.
To currently our business?
No, what were your 3 greatest threats?
Honesty, being genuine, very important, because people know when person is not honest. I think we all know. I think we have a sixth sense that we can read. But if you are very honest and also have empathy, or actually, be honest and also empathy. If you combine both, it's quite powerful. People appreciate it. It's powerful. And third, curiosity. Curiosity make people humble and also keep learning.
And last but not least, from our virtual audience, Nahid Firdaus, not related to Noom, but since you founded South Korea's first heavy metal record label,
Yes.
What are some of your favorite heavy metal bands?
I have so many. Matter of fact, I have so many, but I will tell you the band that you may know, Metallica, right? I love them. And my story goes, like I did some podcast interview, and people, if you research my hobby, they know it's my heavy metal. And I want to share some fun anecdote, and I think we can close our session. When I visit some hotel, like Ritz-Carlton Hotel, actually, Ritz-Carlton Hotel, they decorate with a heavy metal Metallica, like fly on the wall, and then a heavy metal magazine on the table with a letter. Thank you very much for what you are doing, Saeju, because you saved my life using Noom. I cried. So one day I actually told our company that I told, when I announced I'm gonna hire a CEO, our employee was shocked, and I told, because we were doing well, I'm gonna hire a CEO. I'm gonna evolve myself, and I will support. And then I said, the reason why I will continue to work hard is because of the strangers that we help, so many strangers. Because our people at Noom, they're developers, right? They're coaches, and we don't know them. We don't know our users. We just know them, but we would likely never ever meet them in person by nature of the digital healthcare service. But we receive a lot of letters. We receive a lot of letters every day. By changing behavior, we lower the weights. They can off from the mat. Now they can carry their boys and girls, and they can walk up to the stairs. We give a confidence they can actually survive. They will be able to meet their grandchildren. That's amazing. You know what? I was shocked when we did a survey. You may think Noom is for our users are joining search to look like nice, right? A vanity reason. Not really. 90% plus more users said they want to use Noom service because they want to improve their health. And when we deliver, we feel good about that. So we work hard for strangers. They deserve to have a very healthy lifestyle, and we use science and technology, and there's a path. And I think we have done a tiny thing. We need to do a better job. So that's Metallica story. By the way, tomorrow, my story goes, and one of them, I finished one of the interviews lately, and then I received the same question. I said that Metallica, and she goes, I will give you a gift, Saeju. My friend is Metallica lead guitarist Kirk Hammett, sister. So you may have a chance to meet her, and then you can feel from her, you may meet him. So I'm meeting her tomorrow. So I will hustle to meet. To the past, I can meet the Metallica in person.
I'm sorry, I don't have any networks like that.
Oh, you're good. We'll see.
Any other questions?
Mr. Jeong, we actually met like 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
I don't know if you remember me, but after meeting you, I completely pivoted my career. So I'll thank you later and we can catch up.
Thank you very much. Yes.
My question is, I think it's really respectable that you were able to put down the CEO position. And my question is, how do you balance what you think is right for the product strategy and the next step? How do you balance what you think is right based on your mission versus what the CEO and your team feels is right? And obviously, listening to the user is a given answer, but beyond that, how do you prioritize?
Very good question. I interpret your question as is that how do we find a balance between shareholders' interests versus the company mission? Am I right?
Yeah. More the new CEO as well.
I spent 1 year to find the right CEO. I believe that effort will pay off well, and there's a lot of government-like structure that can also monitor and support. And also because our company, because we are consumer-led healthcare, we have a ton of active users every minute. So there's a ton of data is telling us, do we have a right product or not? And I believe that our board of directors and our management team are more than just same people. They are I hope they are mission-driven people like me, but I don't expect they are founders level. So I'm not confused about what the expectations are, but they are there because they want you to deliver the higher value to impact community positively. Good question. Remember I mentioned that it's important to actually have EBITDA and also profit? Because I became very good at raising capital. And I raised capital while even company was facing the bankruptcy. I went to Tokyo and raised capital. So that means I became very good at raising capital with a very weak the performance of the company business. And I realized we need to have a business. We need to make a lot of good money. That way we can become independent. And I've been telling the company over and over, profit is beautiful. Do not evilize like a profit is bad. The reason why we need to have a profit is because that way we can have a more independency. We have more the room we can invest in R&D. We can tolerate with what stakeholder investors are asking. We found a good balance, and I think we became mature. And I'm putting good effort to make sure that we find a good balance. It will be continuously the challenging topic, to be honest. Like Matt, I received lately, OpenAI received a challenge, right? OpenAI even have that challenge. Google has that. That's why I have my last words. That's why I think my responsibility being active, a chair, and staying at the company is important because I'm a founder. Because I found the company not only for money, for delivering a mission, and money is the tool. Very important. Thank you for your thoughtful question. I appreciate it. It's a gift to me. Good question. It's a gift. Please.
Raising equity for capital venture.
I cannot hear you. Sorry, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me examples of countries that have that are lenient in giving capital for venture?
Did you catch the questions?
Capital, raising capital in terms of money.
Sorry. If I would recap, name some of the countries that are lenient in giving out capital. Is that in raising
banks.
Capital?
Yes, bank. Which country?
Okay, so I think he means like which countries are lenient in raising capital.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
For startups, so which countries are easier for startups to raise capital?
Depend on the sector, but generally, United States is the best country for sure. United States has a ton of opportunity because, like, even South Korea, South Korea actually invests most to United States. I just got a call from its governor yesterday, and we are number one ranked country out of all of the world that invest R&D into United States. Number one, Japan is number two now.
Yeah.
So we even put our money into America because America has the good opportunity.
Well, we could go on forever, but that's all the time we have, unfortunately. Saeju, I'm really excited to see the trajectory of where Noom heads now, and you as the executive chairman. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you, everyone, for participating in this dialogue with us. Thank you, Korea Society and Hanwha Life for organizing this event. This program will be available for viewing again on the Korea Society's YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out, you can. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Korea Society to stay connected with the upcoming programs, don't hesitate to reach out to the members of the Korea Society. They're at the back of the room. The Korea Society would also like to invite you to return to this space once again for the upcoming 2024 membership party on February 7th. That is a Wednesday. There are more details on the brochures that you have. All right, so thank you all again for making this program possible.
Fantastic.
There are some refreshments, and you can network and speak to Saeju if you want. And the refreshments are provided by Ongi. All right, so feel free to hang out, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night.
감사합니다. Thank you very much. Fantastic.